Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a casted game of Age of Empires 4, and today we've got something very special for you. It's going to be a mega random nomad start with 3DB playing in orange in the west of the map, playing as the Mongols, and his opponent today will be Vortix, playing in blue as the Rus. He's going to be spawning in the southeast corner of this map, an interesting map. Holy smokes, villagers spawning each other. Now, they do actually have a treaty for the first 3 minutes, and of course, as we can see, that little bit of gold trickle coming in for Vortix, playing as the Rus. The bounty system is in full swing here. When you kill a deer, a boar, any huntable really, or a wolf, and then the Rus will get that gold bounty coming in. And so a bit of a denial therefore B of that bounty, and B has actually got a town center in an amazing spot. Look at all this fish to be had. There's plenty of shore fish, but also 2 deep water fish there that can get the fishing ships out for. Playing up as the Mongols. The Rus going for the town center in a bit more of the center of the map. What's super interesting is the access to this. That is a lot of water, ladies and gentlemen. That could be huge in this game because, well, getting access to this is going to be incredible for the economy. And if Vortix spots this, let's just see if he sees this, because this is huge. He does see it, and he's in fact getting a dock up already. 2 villages on the shore fish, and the dock is up and running. Holy smokes, and don't forget the Rus have incredibly great fishing ships. Incredibly fast, incredibly efficient at gathering food. Mongols though being aggressive. I think I did see like a proxy stable somewhere. I think maybe he might have deleted it though. In any case, second scout coming up for 3DB. I'm not sure if he actually spawns with a Khan. That's actually something important to consider. With the mega random nomad start, because you start off with 8 villages in this setting. This is the Nomadic clash hosted by Mr Merlin. Going for the gur here for the wood, and has nice deer patches around there as well, but this is where the juicy stuff is coming in. The fish, seagulls hovering around, the shoreline fish, incredibly important for that economy up and running. And well, the thing for Vortix is that whilst he does have the dock up and running, he's yet to get a fishing ship out, and so it will take time for that economy to go live and kicking. It does take some time for the fishing economy to kick in, but once it does, it's incredibly strong. Whereas, well, 3DB is getting a lot of food coming in from the shore fish already, so he'll be strong on that front. And that's reflected in the villager count, 13 economy units to 11 at the moment already. And very interesting opening to this first game of this set. Now this is a best of 3, so we'll definitely be having another game as well following on from this. Whether we have a game 3 or not, that will be, well, time will tell with that. In any case, I will be linking the 3 games or potential 3 games in the video description. So if you want to check those out, you can. In any case, scout coming in for Vortix, bringing in quite a few sheep, but of course, he's not really interested in the sheep here. He's interested in the deep water fish. Now, what's so special about the lodger fishing boats is that they do not need to go back to the dock to drop off food. Rather, they just drop it off where they're fishing, and that makes it really efficient. As we see the first fishing ship coming up for 3DB now as well in this northwestern pond. And of course, it will take some time for this game to heat up, but it will certainly, especially when players like Vortix and 3DB are playing. 2 relatively aggressive civilizations, actually. Mongols certainly very aggressive, but the Rus can be aggressive too in the feudal age. We shall see how Vortix decides to play this one out. Potentially maybe having a bit of feudal aggression into Fast Castle. We will see what the plan is. Okay, so what's going on down the south here? 3DB spot this. He spotted it. There is a spearman out on the field for Vortix. There are horsemen as well, early horsemen. Oh, does take a bad engagement there. There's not a fight that B will want to take. Spearman getting bonus damage against the horseman, but with 3DB spotting this out, he's going to look to be aggressive now. So that 2 horsemen. No, that's not an engagement 3DB. He does pull out the right time, and the Khan is going to just slowly poke and prod, just teasing that spearman. You can see the micro happening here. Really fascinating to watch. There's a proxy barracks going down. Let's get some spearmen out for himself there. Oh, B. No, don't do it. Got caught out there for a few hits by the second spearman for the Rus. He just persists with the wood. Vortix wants the fishing economy to go up and running. He does now invest in a lumber camp. Be interesting to see how quickly he decides to invest in a wooden fortress as well. The wooden fortress is a defensive structure for the Rus. instead of an outpost, which actually bolsters the amount of wood that can be dropped off at the lumber camp. Village is now going over to gold. Just doesn't have quite enough there, Vortix, for the age up. Missing 5 gold, which is actually a little bit unlucky. In any case, you'll be gathering gold now, and maybe looking to invest in some hunting camp. And certainly the Rus very dependent on wood in terms of getting their eco bonuses going. As we see the horsemen do surround the spearman, we'll be able to do some good damage. Good micro there for 3DB to pull up the weak one. Brings in a spearman of his own. Nice play there by 3DB. Spear engages against the spear, and this is a great opening here for 3DB. Now he does have a little bit of an opportunity to take care of that dock, as the villager is going to be sniped by the spearman on the south. That's unfortunate for 3DB. Probably will lose that villager. Back in the north part of the map, there are spearmen on the chase for Vortix. It continues to produce those spearmen. Whilst the horsemen have mobility, they are getting ripped to shreds a little bit. Does lose one, might lose a second, just about gets away with it. Khan helping out. Villager survives. And that is the key bit of detail. I think this villager is going to start building a dock potentially. Doesn't have the wood for it though. That's the only concern. The horsemen are heading in. Very surprising to see horsemen. The good thing about the horsemen is that they do have the mobility. They can join the fight a little bit quicker. The spearmen engage. Spearmen for 3DB need to engage here. Does lose 2 horsemen there with 1 hit. Not a great engagement there for 3DB, all things considered. The Golden Gate, the landmark of choice for the Rus. Spearmen against the spearmen. There are 3 of them, so that's actually a decent fight there for 3DB. Especially with the cannon behind. The villager might go down, does start to torch down the dock, but actually gets taken apart. And I wonder if that was a bit premature by 3DB. I don't think he got the dock up. Okay, he's taking the engagement now. Oh, there's a weak spearman there. Horseman jumps in. Gets a good hit. But the spearmen do micro onto the horseman. Let's keep it a detail. As long as the spearmen aren't hitting the horseman getting good value. Trouble is, Vortix is, he's known for his micro, so he's not going to let that happen too often. Looking to torch down the house. 3DB looking to try and make the Rus spend as much wood as possible. Spearmen turn around, they fight. 2 weak ones there for B though. Might lose them pretty quickly. He does. Horseman engaged. Will pick off a spearman there. Does collapse to the ground. 2 on the retreat. There is a cannon behind. 2 spearmen there for 3DB. Ooh, takes a loss on the horseman. Gonna lose another as well. That's pretty painful. It's a lot of food being pumped into that. And because of this Dark Age pressure, I mean, well, 3DB won't have the food just yet to age up. And that's a concern because Vortix is now in the next age. Trying to drop an outpost. Oh, this is not... I don't know how I feel about this. And the outpost will help 3DB actually torch this dock down, but you know, with the Rus, you don't need to drop off the food. I'm not sure how much that actually helps to his cause. In case, does have a scout here on the southern border of that shoreline. Vortix just keeping an eye. He wants to make sure that there's no proxy or, well, another dock coming in for, or a dock coming in for B. Back at home for B does have a decent number of fishing ships, 8 of them. Gather the food. This food is almost over. Almost run out. He's on gold now. We're getting deer stones as the landmark, going up with a lot of villagers, 10 of them. Wants to rush to that feudal age himself. Here comes the Lodger Galleon. Oh, that outpost is not going to go up, and the units have to back off, and the dock probably will go down. It's being burned, but if Vortix sends a villager, he should be able to repair it, but just about whether it gets there in time. I suspect it won't. There's that proxy stable for B. Of course, the Mongols can pack up and run with their units and buildings. So, moving them closer is an option for B if he needs to. Okay, it does look like the Rus will lose that dock. Not the worst thing in the world. There's engagement. There are hardened spearmen now versus the regular spearmen for the Mongols. Mongols are backing off. He's getting the hardened upgrade. And also the upgrade for his horsemen, it looks like. Well, let's just take a look at that. Upgrade hardened spearmen. Yep. And horsemen indeed. Yep. So it's going to be a heavy feudal age battle here, you feel, here on Mega Random Nomad. Vortix pulling ahead on the eco lead, 41 to 39. The pity for B is that, well, these fishing ships are probably going to have to go to the shorefish afterwards. Move the villagers to gold, building an archery range. Look to harass the stable, looking just to go past that and ignore it. But 3DB will be aware of that situation, so that little attack signal B has, he knows where his opponent is. And this is fascinating. He's cutting off reinforcements with the horseman. Really nice play there by B. He send the spearman home to defend. Uh-oh, this is going to be a bit of a problem. He's going to fight with the villagers. Holy smokes, we see this quite often. Villagers getting involved, getting their sheaths out. I don't think they have textiles. Going to fight anyway. A lot of idle time being caused, but I think 3DB is quite happy to take the trade if he can kill up some of the units, but he's pulling away these villages a long way. Spearmen engage. Horsemen picking off reinforcements, but there are spearmen coming out, so the horsemen do die there. Back in the main fight. Spearmen engage against spearmen, but the archers are behind doing a lot of work. Only 2 archers, but it's enough. Spearmen turn around, they engage against the horsemen, and the horsemen dive in. And the bracing of the spearmen does so much damage. The horseman goes down, there is the Khan, but, well, Mongols lose that fight badly. That was a terrible fight for 3DB. Now he's going to struggle. He is on the back foot. Villagers here on the wood line, very exposed. Going to have to drop an outpost potentially, go for an archer range instead. Villagers are getting poked and prodded by these spearmen. A couple of archers are popping out now for 3DB. That will help his cause. But the Rus looks strong with the wood income. Let's just see what he's going on with here. That is indeed the case with Wooden Fortress. I was expecting to see that. We talked about it earlier in the game. Back on the shoreline, B does get a dock up. There is the Lodger Galley. And B looks like he's going to try and contest this water. That could be his way back into the game, actually. If he can take the Rus off of water, that'll be huge. Don't forget, the Rus do have the ability to convert these boats, so that'll be difficult for the Mongols to really pressure. We'll see if he can manage. Main thing is that, well, Vortix is aware of this. If he wasn't aware of it, it would be a bit more of a problem. But he is aware. All archers could work quite well here for 3DB now, going up against spearmen and archers. This stable being torched down, might need to move this away. Vortix really heavily investing. He's got 2 stables now, getting some early knights onto the field. A 3rd stable as well is going to go a lot of knights, and that could be a problem for B. He needs more spearmen. He doesn't really have the spearmen on the field. The trouble for B is he's going for archers and horsemen. But when those knights come out, that could be a big problem. 8 villagers on that gold. Plenty of food coming in for the Rus. Here comes out their war junk. It's not going to be enough though, because look at this. Vortix always outnumbering. He's got 2 Lodger galleys. Or 1 Lodger galley, 1 Lodger attack ship, a springled ship. And even with the dock repair and heal, it's not going to be enough. There is going to be an explosive demo. Explosive junk coming out against the Lodger galley though. I don't know about that. That should really have been on the Lodger attack ship, because the demos actually counter the springled ships, and I think the stable might go down. That's a heavy wood investment that Vortix is getting here. B will lose that stable. I don't think it's going to make it out of there. It's 150 wood. Things looking strong here for Vortix in game number 1 of this best of 3 set. Villagers on that wood line exposed. Knights are there. I don't think textiles is in. It's not, and that's a problem. There are archers in behind. Archers going to focus on the archers there. 3DB versus Vortix. Spearmen are there as well. And the problem for Rus, well, the problem that Rus is giving to the Mongols is the fact he's got a mixed army composition. He's got knights, spearmen, and archers. 3DB need to find a good counter here. The knights are possibly the big problem. Has got a couple of spears coming out now from the barracks. Losing that stable earlier on. That's wood investment lost that he doesn't really quite have. Deerstones is packing up and moving. Another stable being built. Probably wants to get horsemen out here. The southern area of the map. Yep, this dock is not really achieving all that much. Things are being sniped very quickly, and this fishing economy is rocking and rolling. Oh, and he's got a second dock anyway. Vortix with the clutch play, getting another dock. And that food economy is going to be looking so strong. Look at it actually. On the top right, 1,200, 1,300 food coming in versus just the 240 for 3DB. The horsemen engage. Khan uses his ability. Spearmen engage against the horsemen. Villagers joining in the fight. I'm not sure that's a plan that will work because there's no textiles. The archers are in behind. These are strong archers that Vortix has. He will be losing quite a bit there. The horsemen do get a good wrap around. The knights killing villagers though. Villager count dropping massively. 47 to 57, and I think Vortix will be quite happy with this trade because the knights aren't barely taking any damage from the villagers. The problem for 3DB are the knights. There are even still quite a few archers left alive. The archer's going to pick off villagers now. And there's just not enough spearmen. The knights, the 3 stable knights, taking hold of this game. Vortix killing villagers, slaying. It's a massacre. 58 villagers to 39. Villagers do surround a knight, but the knight's barely taking any damage. Knights get a charge attack, and I think we're going to see the GG. I can't see this game going for much longer because B is losing everything, and that's exactly what happens. Vortix takes the first game of this mega random nomad tournament. As we head into game number 2, click on the end card screen there. It'll take you straight over to that match.